Hey, Bronx fans, hold on to this. Today was a day to get angry and swallow your tears along with breakfast. The Yankees took a 12-1 beating from the Red Sox, with errors by Anthony Volpe that would make any baseball fan scratch their head and ask, what is even happening here? And to top off the drama, Volpe ended up on the bench, while José Caballero, newly arrived from the Tampa Bay Rays, stepped in directly as shortstop and immediately showed he came to shine, hitting 2 home runs and leaving everyone stunned. Seeing Volpe sitting and watching Caballero dominate the position was almost cinematic. It was like the Bronx was witnessing a classic hero versus anti-hero duel live on the field. Want to know more? Let's go. News number 1. Stop everything. You won't believe what happened today in the Bronx. The Yankees lost 12-1 to the Red Sox, and seriously, it looked like they were playing blindfolded. From the very first inning, it was a festival of bizarre errors, inexplicable plays, and Garrett Crochet looking like he was giving a masterclass on how to dominate an entire lineup. You can't help but laugh or cry. The Bronx was packed, the fans cheering, trying to hold on to hope, but reality hit like a train. Everything fell apart in just a few innings. Right at the start, Austin Wells missed a pop-up foul by Alex Bregman. Seriously, even the mascot could have caught that with one hand tied behind its back. And if that wasn't enough, Trevor Story took advantage of confusion and hit a 2-run double, showing that you can't mess around with an opponent of that level. No way. Wells looked like he was playing MLB The Show in beginner mode, and the fans could only watch in disbelief. Paul Blackburn then forced a run with an error that no one can quite explain, despite still playing at a high level. Even more absurd. Represents a short-term. Aaron Judge tried to bring some order to the chaos with a double. Cody Bellinger hit a single to bring Stanton to the plate, and everyone hoped the Yankees would finally wake up. But Giancarlo Stanton, who was supposed to be the hero of the day, completely missed. What is this guy doing? It's like he forgot the ball is live and that he actually needs to hit it, not just stare at the sky over the Bronx. With every play, you could feel the tension and desperation rising, and the fans started shouting, "Go Red Sox," which only worsened the humiliation. Meanwhile, Justin Wilson struck out Jazz Chisholm Jr., who could have been the turning point. The bases were loaded in the 5th inning, and then Roman Anthony and Bregman added more runs, turning the game into a full-blown massacre. Judge tried to shine again with a hit to the right field wall, but Anthony made the catch and stopped any attempt at a comeback. This was surreal. It looked like a YouTube compilation of epic MLB fails. The sequence of errors, misplays, and wasted opportunities created an almost cinematic effect of collective disaster, and it was impossible not to laugh and cry at the same time. What makes it even more absurd is the reaction of the team itself. Boone tried to stay calm, repeating phrases like, "We need to play better." But it was obvious even he didn't believe what was happening. Aaron Judge also commented on the need to capitalize on chances and not give the opponents more outs. But honestly, after 8 consecutive losses to their rivals, it felt more like a motivational speech than a real strategy. The feeling is that the Yankees are literally imploding before our eyes. And the situation only gets worse when you look at the day's statistics. Crochet pitched 7 innings, allowed only 1 run, and recorded 11 strikeouts, while the Yankees' offense barely looked like a threat. It's impressive how a single pitcher can dominate a team full of stars like that. Even with small chances for a comeback, like the sequence from Judge and Bellinger, nothing worked. Every attempt was frustrated by grotesque errors or perfect offensive plays from the Red Sox. Amid all of this, the fans witnessed moments that will turn into memes, like the desperate shouting in the 9th inning, Stanton's frustrated expression, and Judge trying to rally a team that just couldn't respond. The most absurd scene of the day, without a doubt, was the Bronx fans applauding the Red Sox, while the Yankees themselves seemed more lost than a child in an amusement park. And this, my friends, is the kind of moment you don't learn in baseball school, but it shows how intense and entertaining MLB drama can be at the same time. In the end, what we take away from this day is that MLB is turning into a live reality show. The Bronx, which had shown power and consistency in previous series, seems to have completely lost control, and we're just sitting here eating popcorn, laughing and crying along. Boone tries to hold the situation together, but the feeling is that even he doesn't believe it anymore. This game was a mix of disaster, comedy, and dramatic spectacle, all within just a few innings. Honestly, If the Yankees continue at this pace, the rest of the season promises to be an emotional roller coaster. News number 2. The Bronx just delivered another chapter of drama worthy of a reality show. The Yankees decided to pull Anthony Volpe from the lineup, that shortstop who looked like he was playing with an internet delay, and put José Caballero in his place. Caballero, newly acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays, stepped into the game as if he'd been playing there his whole life, and the difference between him and Volpe was so striking it felt like a cinematic hero versus anti-hero scene. You can't help but laugh or cry. Volpe had been accumulating errors as if they were achievements, and his 17th mistake in the third consecutive loss, the Red Sox, only reinforced that. He now only trails Ellie de la Cruz, who has 18 errors this season, which gives you an idea of how disastrous Volpe has been in the field. The fans didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or scream, "Go Yankees," as they try and cheer up someone clearly lost. Boone, as always trying to put a positive spin on things, said that Volpe was out because he had been working hard lately, especially on offense. Translation: the bench is calling and there's no easy way back. When asked if he returned tomorrow, Boone responded with the classic, "We'll see." But everyone knows the bench is practically calling Volpe by name. Boone also pointed out that having Caballero makes the situation more viable, since the new shortstop has been playing exceptionally well since arriving. And honestly, saying playing exceptionally well is an understatement for what this guy has shown. Caballero, unlike his predecessor, stepped into the game cold as ice and immediately showed he came to make a difference. When asked about winning against his former team, he replied without hesitation, "I was winning today anyway." Seriously, what level of confidence is that? He didn't even seem nervous. Despite still playing at a high level, result of his talent represents a short. Over the last 7 games, Caballero has posted .389/.522/.722, while Volpe has fallen to .042/.042/.083. It's practically a contrast joke you can't ignore. The former Bronx shortstop, once considered a promising talent, now seems like a symbol of frustration and the team's disastrous offense, while Caballero provides redemption and hope amid all the chaos. The most impressive part is that, despite Volpe's performance, Boone continued to defend him fiercely all season. He always praised his defense and talent, even when the numbers screamed otherwise. But reality hit hard. Caballero arrives and, in just a few games, demonstrates that the team finally has a solid option at the position. He has driven in 2 home runs against his former team and already contributed to victories over Tampa Bay and St. Louis. While Caballero seems to be playing with absolute confidence, Volpe is on the bench just watching, and his inability to contribute offensively makes the change even more obvious. The atmosphere in the Bronx today was surreal. Fans, who expected at least some resistance from the team, watched Caballero take over shortstop like a veteran, while Volpe was relegated to bench, as if saying, "Time to learn the lesson." The difference between the two is almost cinematic. Every play by Caballero is safe, efficient, and impactful, while any contact Volpe makes with the ball smells a disaster. It's amazing to see how a trade at the deadline can change a team's dynamic almost overnight. And it's not just about numbers. It's about morale, confidence, and narrative. Caballero exudes quiet leadership, consistency, and presence, while Volpe, even with all the defensive praise from Boone, seems lost on every play. It's almost as if the Bronx had gone through a storm and Caballero is the ray of sunlight finally appearing, showing that there is hope amid the chaos. The contrast is so great that you feel like you're watching 2 completely different universes in the same game, one completely lost and the other absolutely dominant. In the end, the feeling is that MLB is turning into a live reality show, and the Bronx is the stage for every dramatic chapter. Volpe on the bench, Caballero shining, fans in disbelief, Boone trying to control the uncontrollable, and we're just here, eating popcorn and enjoying the chaos. If this pace continues, the season promises to be a real emotional roller coaster, with moments of frustration and surprise every game. So, Yankees Nation, what a day, right? Volpe on the bench, Caballero stepping in and already showing he came to save the shortstop position, and another humiliating loss to the Red Sox. If you want to keep following every twist of this live drama, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And let me know in the comments, Do you think Volpe can still turn things around, or has Caballero arrived to take over for good and become the hero the Bronx needed? I want to hear every Yankees fan's opinion.